Welcome to LobbyComply Pod from State and Federal Communications. We are your source for lobbying, compliance, ethics, campaign finance, and election news from across the country. Hello, this is Elizabeth Bartz, President and CEO of State and Federal Communications. Let me transfer you to Joe May, who will introduce this week's podcast.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm Joe May, Manager of Corporate Social Responsibility, and today I'm here with David Garnier, one of our managers in research services. Dave helps us keep current on state and local laws and regulations in the southwesterly U.S. We'll be talking with him today about gift restrictions. Hello, Dave. Thanks for agreeing to come on the show.
Happy to be here, Joe.
I understand states and many local governments restrict what gifts or other valuable things government officials and employees may accept or receive. Why is that?
Alongside other ethics and government laws, gift restrictions promote public confidence in elected officials and public employees that they're working in the best interests of the public rather than for private gain. On the other hand, gifts are sometimes seen as good gestures, as components of building relationships, as providing materials or opportunities for information or education, among other reasons. This leads to state and local governments attempting to find the regulatory balance that works for their communities, and can result in differences state to state, or between states and their political subdivisions, municipalities, school districts, special districts, and other government entities.
Sounds complex. What are some areas with differences?
Even the definition of what is a gift is not universal. In the context of government ethics, gifts are sometimes thought of as anything given to a public official of more than nominal value in any form. This includes money, loans, travel, meals, entertainment, tickets to events, among other things. This is more or less the base definition in New York state legislative law, subject to exceptions. Hawaii ethics law, in comparison, doesn't have a statutory definition for gift. Nonetheless, they still prohibit gifts with influential intent or where intent can be reasonably inferred. In this case, it's good to have examples from state publications and resources, which are available in our supplementary documents page for every jurisdiction. We also keep contact information for state regulatory agencies, which in Hawaii, the Ethics Commission will provide confidential advice to anyone on whether a gifting scenario would violate the ethics code.
Does it make a difference if I'm a lobbyist or non-lobbyist when providing a gift?
Absolutely. Lobbyists are often subject to stricter limitations due to the unique relationship of lobbyists to the public officials being lobbied. In California, for example, lobbyists giving gifts to legislative officials or elected state officers may only do so within a narrow monthly dollar limit, whereas non-lobbyists may provide gifts to state officers under a less restrictive annual dollar limit. This annual dollar limit is also subject to a scheduled periodic adjustment. Exceptions to gift restrictions may come into play, again, for informational material, for example, in certain states, or other specified non-gifts, such as inheritances. Being a lobbyist employer is also a category of gift giver that may have special rules. Take Oklahoma, where lobbyist employers may provide food and beverage to legislators under certain conditions, and provided the gift is reported by the lobbyist when necessary.
You mentioned reporting. Is this another area of difference between states?
Exactly right, Joe. Well, it's common for states to require registered lobbyists to periodically report gifts to public officials. The timing of those reports, as well as what must be included, will differ from state to state. Even non-lobbyists may be required to disclose gifts. In Colorado, any person making gifts for the benefit of covered officials over a certain annual dollar limit is required to submit a disclosure statement.
Well, we've certainly heard about a number of good reasons to keep current on gift-giving compliance in states and localities of interest. How about some takeaways?
Of course. Takeaway 1. Due to the potential regulatory schemes of both state and local political subdivisions, it's important to have a trusted resource of gift laws affecting any jurisdiction in which you intend to operate. Remember that even special districts and other statutory agencies may have their own codes of ethics with separate gift restrictions. Reach out to state and federal communications before lobbying or providing gifts. We're always happy to work with you on meeting your compliance needs in your jurisdictions of interest. Takeaway 2, avoid tying gifts to specific legislative outcomes or business reasons. And remember, some states do not allow even the appearance of an improper gift transaction. Be sure to check in on what is permitted and how much before gifting. Lastly, takeaway 3, keep track of your gifting practices, the value of your gifts, and who benefited. Your state may have varying degrees of disclosure required, depending on whether you're a non-lobbyist, lobbyist, or lobbyist employer. Our lobbying guidebook lays out these distinctions for each jurisdiction, as well as what needs to be included in a disclosure, so you always have a reference at hand. The Alerts Consulting Services provides personalized, one-on-one lobbying compliance help for lobbyist and employer reporting. As always, reach out to state and federal communications for more insights and for answers to all of your other questions on lobbying and campaign finance regulation today.
Once again, we've been speaking with David Garnier, one of our managers in research services here at State and Federal Communications. Thank you, Dave. It was great to have you on the program.
Thanks, Joe. Great to talk with you.
Thanks for listening to LobbyComply Pod from State and Federal Communications. For more news, visit LobbyComply.com. To learn more about how we can guide you along the road to compliance, visit stateandfed.com.